Let's get it. Nick Cannon is here. Cruz Show, Real 92.3. Welcome back, my guy.
Man, come on, fam.
Yes, sir.
It's been way too long.
Nick Cannon is here, man. SoFi Stadium tomorrow, Saturday. Battle of the Bands. Glorilla's performing live.
Yes, it's
right.
gonna be lit.
We're collecting canned foods.
Yeah,
we're giving
the
back.
LA Regional Food Bank, man.
Let's go.
You can bring a non-perishable item. Imagine it's the SoFi Stadium. We're gonna sell out the stadium. Imagine if everybody brought a can.
Man, that's a lot of difference.
Yeah, you're gonna make a big difference, and
Absolutely.
we need it out here.
Yeah, and like I said, Glorilla's performing. She's great. She's having an amazing run.
My favorite rapper right now.
Right now.
Like not
Straight up.
just female rapper. My favorite rapper.
She doesn't miss.
Like it's just that she has the energy that hip hop needs.
100%.
You know what I mean? It's just her. She having a good time.
Yeah.
And it's aggressive, but it ain't. You know,
But it's cute.
Yeah. It ain't
She makes it
dangerous.
cute.
Yeah. I love it.
Not
I love
dangerous.
it.
Right. And you're hosting, right?
Yeah, man.
You're
And
hosting.
it's like
This is
full
your deal.
circle for me.
Come on,
It's-
exactly.
It's like art imitating life, life imitating art. Like it's like homecoming for drumline.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
cool.
I wanted to bring up drumline, but I'm like, is that too obvious?
I think
that's what it is.
Honda understood it. Like, let's get the guy who starred in the marching band movie to come host the Battle of the Bands.
How many bands are going to be?
I believe like 7 or 8, and there's gonna be some surprises. But I mean, like,
And the
all
best in the world, right?
Yeah, HBCUs, which is dope because usually a Honda Battle of the Bands takes place in the South, where HBCU
huge.
marching band culture really is thriving.
Yeah.
But the fact that now these students get to experience the West Coast, and now it's a nationwide movement to where, wow, you get to travel, and a lot of people don't even understand it's global. Because music is a universal language, and to see some of our favorite artists, some of our favorite producers started in a marching band. So it's like they out there playing like it's the future. It's the next stars, and it's like 300 of them at a time turning up.
Yeah, and you hear a lot of that influence in music that Metro Boomin is doing, Mustard is doing, Tyler the Creator.
Yep.
You hear that essence, that vibe of that band, that live band.
Yep. And it's kind of, I mean, growing up, obviously out here on the West Coast, but even I grew up in the South too. You had to have an instrument. You had to play something. Like it was a class that so whether it's the saxophone, the tuba, the drums, you had to know how to have some type of musicality. Which then for people like myself and others, like you take that on as a career and you become a Metro Boomin. You become one of these guys that actually understands music and makes hits for the culture.
That's right. It's more than just pushing buttons, that's not a diss, but I'm just saying
where you at least you gotta eventually understand musicality at some type.
100%. With hosting, there isn't nerves there, right? I mean,
only time I get nervous is when I'm not prepared.
Yeah, sure.
And
yeah, that's 100%.
when you've done it for so long, it's kind of hard not to be prepared. But like if you throw me in front of obviously live TV, I love it. But if you throw me in front of live TV and you want me to say something, but you didn't tell me what you wanted me to say,
that's where it gets a little weird.
That's like, yo, what am I supposed to do? And especially if it's like a sports competition or something like. But if it's my vibe, if it's my terrain, then I know what to do. I'm not really going.
What'd you do early on when you were hosting and you were on TV and you were acting? How did you get rid of those nerves early on? Did you figure something? Is there a cheat code?
Back then, I guess it was never.
Because I've heard of comedians being so nervous they've canceled the show.
Wow.
Yeah, I never had that. I just go out there and get booed. Because that's if you're not, because in stand up specifically, if you're not prepared in stand up, that's when you bomb.
Oof.
Did you ever have any bombing experiences?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That happens, right?
Yeah, all the time.
But it should happen to
But it
to
should,
a comedian,
I mean,
right?
I remember being on the road opening up. Dave Chappelle took me on the road, like right during the Chappelle show time. And some of them nights I wasn't prepared.
Wow.
And especially because I didn't know we would be going to like, UC Davis and like college.
Yeah.
And so I had never done that before, and I'm young, and I'm.
Were you thinking I got this?
Yeah,
right?
I'm thinking I'm Nick Cannon, and then during the whole time of when me and Dave was on the road, it was during the Chappelle show, and one of his biggest skits was "Fuck Nick Cannon."
He's hilarious.
Yeah, nigga, and that as soon as I stepped out there, give it up for Nick Cannon. I was like, "Fuck Nick Cannon." I was like, I wasn't prepared for that. I'm thinking it's gonna be love. And
no, it's a blow to the ego right away, and it hurts
like,
your feelings.
It's college students, so that's what they're there. They like, as soon as Dave came out, they was like, I'm Rick James, bitch. You know what I mean? That's the energy they're on, and he knew how to handle it and take that energy and bring it back to a space of like, oh, let's play. Where I was like, I'm just gonna stick to my routine and do my jokes, and then. First couple of nights I didn't know what to do, but then once I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, fuck Nick Cannon." Once you roll with it, then you can have a good night. So, but I never had like nerves. It's like I'm one of them kids that's jump in the water and we gonna figure out how to swim.
Figure it out, right.
So,
is that like being from San Diego?
Probably the Dago energy. Like I think the hustle's always been in me, and just like really. I'm never just being fearless, man. Like I think because I started doing all of this so young, it was where most people probably would think it was nervousness. I saw it as adrenaline. I saw it as like it was exciting to me. Like I wanted to get it. Like give me the mic. I'm gonna figure this out. Like I don't care about your opinion. And doing that at 11, 12 years old, then it just becomes a normal thing. But now it's like. I'm more about, even when I have a great show, you know what I mean? Like even probably, after tomorrow or even when he's on the Wild 'N Out tour, afterwards I'm like, man, we could have did this better. Or this and everybody's like, oh, it was amazing. Right. Yeah, but the timing off of this one, we could have hit that timing a little harder. And especially when you're on tour and you can get it right the next night. Yeah. I'm more of that. I get inside my head like that, like, post game. In the locker room, trying to make sure we can
watching
get
game
it.
tape.
Yeah,
man. For
like
sure.
I get in my head that way. Never before though.
No, that's so good.
Yeah,
that's good because I don't know if you're in your head early on, man, that could really determine the whole show.
I'm a true believer in let go and let God. Like whatever God wants to happen, that's what we're doing. And that's the beauty of like being an improv comedian is that I want the challenges. I'm looking for it. All right, what's gonna happen? Like I don't know, you don't know. Let's figure it out.
You want a hole that you could dig yourself out of, right?
Wow. That's building that muscle.
Man, that's what it's about, man. And I see you throwing up clips on the gram of you doing stand up.
Yeah.
Are you warming up to something? Are you thinking
we cooking up some stuff. Yeah. Like again, just really flexing that muscle again. We got, and it's probably gonna be more. I don't want to give too much. I like the white guy
black joke.
Yeah. The standard. I think it's more about giving other people opportunities and building another platform that we haven't seen in a long time. We haven't seen us have a platform for stand-up comedy in a very long time. Mm-hmm. We haven't seen our this generation's version of Def Comedy Jam.
No, we haven't.
So that's what I'm cooking up.
Even in Living Color, we haven't seen that today.
So, and that's the thing, like, Wild 'N Out has probably been the last of giving people opportunities to shine. So I kind of want to build something else too. So that's why you've been seeing my stand-up stuff kind of cooking a little bit because I want to get these young stand-ups.
And there's a movie in the works, right?
Yeah. We got.
I don't know how much I can say, but
yeah. But I mean, just go ahead, tell them. What?
Yeah. What can we expect with the movies?
I mean, I try to usually do like 1 or 2 films a year just to kind of again keep flexing that muscle. But right now I'm about to jump into a passion project of mine. And a lot, like I've been doing martial arts my entire life. So I'm going to get an opportunity to do like some action martial arts.
Okay. That's right.
Yeah, so we in there.
That's right. You're going to put those tournament skills to test.
Exactly.
The 10-year-old tournament skills.
The 10-year-old taekwondo tournament skills.
That's right. But now you think about like action moves with karate. Those were the ones growing up, right? Remember that?
So like that's why I was like it's a passion project because like I said, I won't give too much away, but I'm getting an opportunity to work with somebody that is a legend in the space. And and we're going to do some
Jackie Chan?
In that elk.
Wow.
Elk.
No, that's real deal.
Yeah.
Right? And you have to show up as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's to be able to flex that and even do that for the kids. My kids, they see dad kind of in a different space, in a different
12
life.
kids. We have 12 children, right?
Yes.
Any of them showing early talent?
All of them, really. All of them. I mean, it's in them, man, but it's...
Any of them you want to put on TV yet?
I have my feelings about that. Where they have been thriving every kid, like kids don't even want to be on TV no more. They want to be influencers. They want to be creators. And we do a lot of...
My son wants a YouTube channel.
Yeah, so we do a lot of super dad content on there. So I bring all my kids online. So they're happy with that. And I feel like we control that environment. When you start putting your kids in a professional setting, that's where I feel like,
But I think there's room.
Scary.
There's room for, Fox, shout out to Fox or ABC, right? Or even CBS for a Nick Cannon sitcom that embraces your family, and it's a dad with 12 kids.
Do you know my manager or something? Like, what are you like?
I follow. I study what's going on, man.
It's a lot of stuff we cooking up that's definitely in that space.
That right?
Yeah.
Man.
Absolutely.
Yo, that'd be crazy.
I
think you can pull that off. I mean, with like George Lopez and his daughter.
Yep.
And I just think there's room for that. There's space for more of that.
Absolutely. The unorthodox family structure.
That's for real.
Yeah.
We
all have it.
Interesting too. Yeah.
You know DJ Leslie.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you guys known each other?
Well, I feel like we've seen each other in passing, but we did a gig recently or last summer in Midland, Texas. And by the way, Nick came in, you were talking about being prepared, and you were so prepared because he played La Chona.
Yeah,
that's right.
He did a whole little Spanish set in Midland.
Come on, I knew where I was at. I knew my audience.
Yeah.
They turned up.
Yeah, they really did.
Yeah.
Have you learned any Spanish?
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in San Diego, man.
I know, and you have Latina baby mothers as well.
Yeah, and my grandmother was Mexican, so
Wow, you in the game have Mexican grandmothers.
Yeah.
So you're comfortable.
And I have Mexican children as well.
That's right.
What part of Mexico was your grandma from?
To be honest, she was, the way it was explained to me, it was. I actually really don't know, but it was more of Spanish descent that actually moved to Mexico. So she was like, yeah, like so.
That was a movement.
Yeah. So I mean, that was a real thing, and then obviously we just all grew up in San Diego. Right. So like,
man.
Yep.
Any homes lost in the fires?
No homes lost. We had to evacuate, but by the grace of God,
everything was good. Oh, thank God, man! Yeah. What a scary time.
Yeah, indeed.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a lot of homes.
Under
your belt.
Yeah.
Pause. Like, yo, there's a lot of homes.
It was a lot. We was moving a lot around during that time, but like I said, it was truly God's grace and favor that we didn't. It was close. But,
yeah, man. Yeah. No more kids for you? Is that it? Are we celebrating?
Cruz?
What are we doing?
I don't know. I mean,
going with it, right?
I mean,
that's enough. That's enough. 12 is enough.
All right, you say so, Cruz.
12 is enough. And I'm Mexican. So all we do is have kids. But like, yo, bro, 12, Yahweh. No, mama's way. That's a lot of kids, bro.
It is. And
that's a beautiful thing.
And we enjoy them, man. Yeah,
it's
for
a
real.
tribe.
Yeah.
And with the mother of the mothers of your children, right? Yeah. You have to maintain a relationship with all of them, right?
You do.
And you have to show your kids that they have happy mothers.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so that's very important, right?
You have to.
For your kids to grow up and see their parents happy, even if they're not together.
Yeah.
Right? They have to see their moms happy.
I mean, that's the thing. It's whatever the infrastructure is. You have to we have to do what's best for the child, and then you have to be in a loving environment.
Yeah. So they're not, well, I was going to say, they're allowed to have jobs, but, I mean, if they wanted to.
They're allowed to do whatever they want to do.
They're allowed to do whatever they want. But, like,
I don't.
There's partners.
But can they have, like, OnlyFans pages?
I mean, that's whatever they want to do.
Nah, that means you don't want it.
No, I don't judge based off of anybody. Shouts out to everybody who on OnlyFans. Like I got an OnlyFans page. It's
do you really?
Yeah, I don't be on there shaking ass, but it's like,
what are you doing? What are you showing, bro?
I haven't used it in a very long time. But OnlyFans started. It wasn't necessarily for the content that it was created for. Like
we did that to the site.
Right?
Exclusive experiences is what it was supposed to be.
Exactly.
And
it's
some
no
of it
longer
became too exclusive. But but I was doing like some risque content on when I would drop my R&B project a couple of years ago. And it was a lot of those. We hired some of the OnlyFans type of practitioners to do some content with me.
Yeah. Very smart. Hire the people that know what they're doing.
Yeah. And they turned it up. We got turned up.
Were you in the friend zone with any of your baby moms? Did you have to come out of a friend zone with any of them? Like really try?
Initially?
Yeah. Were you stuck in DMs and?
Nah, I like who like me, man. And I think that's what makes it really easy. Like, people always want to know the secret to the sauce. Like, nobody's a part of a situation that they don't want to be a part of.
Yeah.
And I'm not a manipulator. I'm not somebody that, like, if I have to convince you to rock with me, then you're not for me.
Then what are we doing?
So I'm usually, I can pick up, and I'm an energy guy. So if somebody's into me, then we can figure it out.
I had to convince my wife to be with me. I promise.
Really?
But it's all good. It worked out. We have 2 kids.
It worked.
You know?
See, I've never had to. Maybe like one time in like the 8th grade.
Oh, damn.
I had to like.
That doesn't count.
And it didn't work. She ended up liking somebody else, and I was like, see, I'm never gonna do that.
Learn, yeah.
I'm only gonna like who likes me.
There
if you
go.
like me, then that's who I'm.
You learned early. Do you have a will, and how does that work?
Yeah, you have all types,
right?
You have stuff set up based off of lawyers.
You have to. You really have to. Everyone should.
Everyone, right?
But you really have to.
Yeah, you got to make sure estate planning is a real thing.
That is a real thing.
Yeah.
You have to have an estate first.
Yeah.
Right?
That's why you got to keep working out here, man.
You live in a 2-bedroom apartment. You don't necessarily have an estate yet.
Like, yeah, you going to take over the rent.
Right? For real. Yo, you own a Toyota.
I do.
My
It's
man.
one of my favorite cars.
Man, I love Toyota.
Which
My
one do you have?
Tundra.
Tundra.
Yeah.
What'd you do
I'm
to
a
it?
car guy, but like, it's obviously when I was in, morning radio, and I got an opportunity to get a free Toyota. But I was like, it can't be normal. So, I went over to my guys at West Coast Customs, and we incredibled it out.
That's
so
right.
We rose it. We put a snorkel on it. We put some exhaust. We supercharged it, and it's still my favorite.
Damn.
Like, when I pick my kids up from school, I either pick them up in the monster truck, that's my Tundra,
That's right.
or the cyber truck. And those, like, they love,
Those are the cool cars, too.
Yeah,
Their friends get to see that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right?
So those are the 2 family cars.
You don't drive the Rolls over to...
Not really. Like, everyone, like, if I just happen to be in it, but they don't like that car.
No.
They're like,
Are they embarrassed by it?
They just don't like it. It's like an old man
not a
car
cool
to them.
car, yeah.
Like they like, they can get in the cyber truck, and it's like an arcade in there.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
they
Candy.
It looks cool,
all
too.
this touch screens, things move, it raises up and down.
Nah, for sure.
But like in the monster truck, it's just a big giant truck. So.
Oh, it's good times, man.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, man. Your time is obviously very important to you.
Most valuable thing.
Most valuable thing, time, right?
But it's also a man-made construct, so it's not real.
Really?
Because it's more time. Energy is more important to me than time, because that's something that's God-given. And what are you gonna do with it? Time, we could stretch it, we could figure it out, we can.
But we'll never get it back.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Huh?
But I actually believe because it's a social construct that allows us to all be on the same page. But if you no longer want to be on the same page with everybody, you can figure it out. Once you control your time, then you're not worried about getting it back, because you're so in the present that the past is actually the present too.
Do you have
it's not linear.
Uh-huh.
Like, everybody looks at time as it's linear. I don't see time as linear. It's like it's reciprocal.
It seems that way, though, right?
Yeah. But for the common person that's operating on someone else's time.
Yeah.
But if you're operating on your own time, it's not a linear process.
But you got to get to that point to where
you do. And it has nothing to do. It's elevation of your mindset. It's the frequency that you operate.
Yeah.
Because that's whatever you practice spiritually, whether it's yoga to Christianity, it's like once you understand that process of you control you and your spirit and your universe, and there is a unified field, but it's through the lens that you want to see it, then you're not worried about.
Nah, Nick, you figured something out. You've always been on this frequency, and I've always wondered if you have like what do they call those, like Sherpas or like gurus? Or do you have a spiritual shaman. Do you have like a spiritual leader?
I've all my life I've been such a spiritually in tune dude, but I've always been fascinated and studied, various spirituality. So I don't dive too deep because I'm a dedicated, certified, Christian. Like, that's my whole, I can't.
So
my dad was but I've always understood and respected. So I've studied Sikhism, I've studied Buddhism, I've studied, Islam, and really like dove in and did the work and built with shamans and, all of those type of things to understand that, ultimately we're all seeking the same thing.
True.
And whatever language you speaks to you is how you'll live your spiritual life.
No, you study the game. You study the world, I think, right? And frequency. Yeah. You study time, obviously.
You got to. And that's what I said. Like, I said, I'm fluent in many spiritualities, but my first language was Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, right. So I like, and they all talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
How so?
In that sense, because I feel like they're all rooted from the same space.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's just that people got different messages from God at different times in their lives,
right,
and then they put it out to the world how they interpreted it. And that's once you get to that space where you're not trying to judge someone else's walk, you're just trying to perfect your own. You're not really, you can take pieces from like, oh, I like how they did. Oh, I understood that.
Yeah.
And you have an understanding. And, to me, like if you look every day, I have my meditative time where I, meditate.
On Instagram. Yeah.
But see, I just started doing that to almost even switch up the frequency in my own algorithm because it was so much negativity.
You just started doing it publicly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
do
20 minutes, 4 a.m. every day. But then
that's why you look 19.
Yeah. So you wake up at 4 a.m., you meditate?
Yeah, and then I was like, at the end process, I was like, yo, let me because a lot of times it'd be like the sky be so beautiful. Like when you get like, you literally feel high after meditation. Like you're in such this spot and you want to share what you see with the rest of the world. So I was like, yo, there's so much negativity online. Let me show them what I see right now.
Sure, yeah.
And
give them a look.
And so hopefully it can inspire others to kind of at least get to your quiet place. Because the world is dark right now.
Quiet is underrated, man.
Yeah.
For real.
And it's loud and it's noisy and everybody got an opinion and we doing it in our little magical devices that we carry around.
And everyone thinks they know what you should be doing.
Yeah.
And how you should be doing it.
Yeah. So if you could just at least before you do that, talk to the Most High.
Yeah. I've heard you say like, at the top we don't compete, we collaborate, right?
Yeah.
I'm such a man, I can't shake that competitiveness, man.
But competitiveness,
I'm a radio dog.
Yeah.
So like I want to bury you.
Yeah. And that's good because that like when it's long as you're doing it for sport. Yeah, long as you're doing it for sport. You know what I mean? Like
it's the way of life for me.
But that's like then it eats at you.
Yes, it does.
Then it becomes a poison.
It's not healthy,
yes, it does. Yes. And it slowly kills you.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm ready to die for it.
Yeah.
And you need some of those. You a frontliner. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
You ready to go to war? 100%. I want to be a general. You know what
I know.
I'm sit back and send cats like you.
You're calling me disposable, then, right?
If you have that mentality,
and
you want to jump out there and get to it. And we need wolves.
I know.
I'm trying to be a lion.
I'm a jump out boy, dog. You feel me?
But you can evolve because
I'm trying.
Everybody has to, gangsters want to get old. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
And that's the thing. That's when that's the most gangster thing you can ever do is when you can go retire in Miami. Man. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but there's a lot of these young boys that want to crash out. And they, to your point, you use that word, they become disposable and they're comfortable with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I'm so uncomfortable with it, but I love it.
But that's that fire. That's that we need that.
Learning how to control it, right?
Equanimity. When you can when you can have a balance of when it's time to turn up, we're gonna turn up. But when I know how to use it. Cause that's the thing, like I'm not competitive. And that has, throughout my career, sometimes hurt me because I'll be like, nah, that's for them. Let them have it. I don't fight for stuff. What's for me is for me.
I can't sit back and think that way.
Yeah, like
it's for everyone.
And especially like, you know how it is in radio and all that stuff. You want to win. I'm like, I don't care. Like, y'all, who's cut my check? My check gonna be the same.
No,
like,
dog,
like
no.
It's not a big deal to me. But because I know there's enough to go around for everybody.
Is there?
Yeah.
There's got to be, right?
Definitely. You just got to be able to create the opportunities, right?
And I'm my greatest competition.
Yeah.
I want to be better. If I'm the best that I can possibly be, can't nobody mess with me. That's the narcissist in me. Like, I'm him.
But we all have, especially with what we do, right? Whether it's TV, radio, podcast, we're in front of that camera. Narcissism, a hint of it is there in all of us.
And that's what makes you who you are. When you love yourself to a level, you know the story of Narcissus, he loved himself so much. He loved himself to death. You know what I mean? He was obsessed with who he was.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with me. I love me. You're not gonna get another me.
I'm trying to get there, man. Privately, I tell myself, but then that, I don't know, it fades away, and maybe that's why
it's
I
understanding the God in you.
That's why I'm still trying to fight for but it's me.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think once you embrace it, spend that quiet time with yourself, understand how dope you are, and that it ain't about validation or other people's opinions. Like, I'm dope.
I was talking to my therapist about that over the holidays, man. About validation, man.
Yeah, like, you
because I've never really had it, so I seek it.
Yeah.
And we don't need it.
Yeah, it's true. And that's the thing, like, luckily I grew up with a lot of love. I grew up with people.
Lucky.
Yeah, but that's like, I know there's some people that didn't receive that.
No,
so
there was love,
that makes you a dog, that makes you hungry, that makes you vigorous.
100%.
And you need that validation for other places.
Yeah.
And I have too, you know, in that sense where you seek validation as a young person, but once you get a little wiser, you like, on me.
Yeah. Like I was never like really hugged or called handsome as a kid, right? So my kids, I hug them so much they can't breathe. And the second they wake up, I'm like, there's my handsome boy, right? And I may be overdoing it because I wanted it, but they're getting it from me.
Yeah, and that's beautiful, man. You're breaking them generation curses. Generational curses.
We should hug this out.
Yeah, right?
We should hug this out, man, for sure. Yo, what about rap battles, right? Speaking of like being a dog, right? Like who won, Drake or Kendrick Lamar?
Come on, man.
Right?
That's obvious. Is that even a question anymore? Is it obvious? It didn't have to go that way. I mean, it started off, it was an amazing fight. Yeah. I went into it rooting for Drake. I was like, oh, it's about to be crazy. He's about to do it again. And then the brilliant strategic mind of Kendrick Lamar made my man crash out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I say obviously Kendrick Lamar, but like, you know, with other rap fans, like I say Jay-Z won, but Nas won that. With Ether, right?
You think?
But Jay-Z ultimately won.
I think, first of all, it was great for both of them.
Great.
That was the best rap battle because they both elevated one another. Yeah. And it got personal, it got nasty, it got ugly.
Baby mamas were involved.
But they were able to actually befriend each other and do business afterwards.
They came out on stage.
Later,
I don't necessarily see Kendrick and Drake doing that. I was
going to say, do you think that
could happen? I would love for that to happen at the Super Bowl. That's everybody's fever dream.
I don't want that.
That would be amazing.
No,
but it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
It's not. But that would show you how much of a beautiful human Kendrick Lamar is if he was able to pull off bringing Drake out on stage.
Wow.
Because it's for his own self and even to be able to convince Drake. It's not gonna happen, but that would be the most beautiful thing hip-hop has ever seen.
Wouldn't that be like, all right, let me throw you a bone, I feel bad for you,
but that's what I'm saying, you would have to convince, that's what I'm saying, he couldn't convince Drake to do it. You know what I mean? Like, what
Drake is still trying to fight this out.
Yeah, it is like
legally and
that's what I'm saying. Like he's trying to prevent him from performing not like us at the Super Bowl. That's the thing that we're all wondering. Like, is he going to be able to do that song because it's wrapped up in, you know, litigious matters?
Yeah, I mean, I think Kendrick took it this far. He's got to take it further.
But
now. There's no turning back.
No, because it's not up to him anymore. Like, if to me, this is what the lawsuit is all about. The lawsuit is Drake don't need no more money. Like, he doesn't want that song performed on the biggest stage in the world.
In America, sure, yeah.
So the only way to stop that, because Kendrick is going to be employed by the National Football League and Fox and all these, they don't want them legal problems. They don't want to be wrapped up in, you know, hours and hundreds of millions of dollars of legal bills. So they're going to say,
you have to worry about the affiliates, right?
Mr. Lamar, if you want to perform, you can't perform this song because it's a legal matter, because there's been a cease and desist sent to the NFL, sent to Fox.
So it's bigger than K-Dot at this point.
Yeah, sent to the city of New Orleans, that if this song that is referencing pedophilia is played in here, that we're going to sue the city, we're going to sue the state, we're going to sue the NFL, we're going to, and like, they're going to say you can't perform that song. And then in Drake's mind, that's a win.
Of course,
is it a win, though? I don't think it's a win.
I'm just saying, like.
But does Kendrick say, yo, I can't be stopped. I don't care. I want all the smoke.
But how would you, like, if the entire production, like, what, you just gonna pull your cell phone out and put the mic to it? Like,
right. No, you're
like,
right.
He gonna give you something, but like, that's a product. They're rehearsing for weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's some lawyers that said, because this song is wrapped up in, legal matters.
Or they can just bleep out the parts that, are in question.
Have the crowd sing it?
But I'm saying that that's why they made it about the song. To me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, that specific, because it's gonna be a cease and desist, and you can't do that with a cease.
It's gonna be tough.
That's if I'm thinking, because Drake is strategic.
Corporate,
he's a brilliant mind.
You're thinking very corporate, which you have to, right?
Yeah.
And it's very smart to do so. But yeah, you have to worry about the guys in the office.
So I think the NFL doesn't want that smoke. Wow. And so they're not gonna allow him to perform that song.
That's so not hip hop.
And I think that's what the lawsuit is about. I never thought it was about money or deals or none of that. I think it was like, you're not performing that song about me at the Super Bowl.
At what point do you think Jay-Z steps in?
Never. That's Jay's decided he's Oz. He's the man behind the curtain.
Right.
He's never gonna say nothing. That's Jay's superpower. He don't speak on it until
time.
Yeah, like Jay, and even then, somebody else is speaking. He don't have he's so calculated. Like, that's the one right there.
Yeah, man. You've known Ho for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I knew Jay when I was. Before, I mean, I know I was broke, but even like he wasn't that Jay yet. Like, I remember seeing Jay in New York. First of all, Jay was never broke. Jay was always.
He always had. Yeah,
he had it.
He
but
came in.
Yeah, I knew him since I was a teenager.
Yeah, man. Have things between you and 50?
We don't never have no problems.
There was no problems, but
that's a love-hate relationship.
He has said some things,
I've said things about him. I call him fat when he's getting fat. But it's like I respect Fifth more than any. To me, probably the most amazing story hip hop has ever seen. Like, when you talk, like, he's a hip hop superhero, or super villain when you want to think about it. He's the best. Like, his story and what we watched, probably the best New York, rapper on paper, like, when I'm talking about numbers and all of that stuff, not ability, but I'm talking like the best story, the best journey. We literally seen somebody come from the street, come from talking shit about people, come from literally taking 9 shots, becoming the biggest star in the world, looking like a superhero.
Bulletproof vest on stage.
All of that stuff, taking it to the highest heights ever, creating the biggest song in hip hop.
Legend, 100%.
Yeah, like In the Club is still the biggest song in hip hop ever. And then to say, I'm done with hip hop, I'm gonna go over here and dominate in television and storytelling.
That's a move.
Never, like, Jay and 50 need to be studied. Mm-hmm. They will be studied.
They will.
They're gonna go down in history.
Yeah,
and I put Fifth in that category of, like, almost one of the greatest entertainers we've ever seen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because he even gets it on a social media level, like. Yeah. Half the time when he talking shit about people, or whether it's me or whoever, he don't mean that. He's entertaining.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
He's calculated.
It's a show to him.
Yeah,
and he's the ringmaster. It's a circus.
Brilliant.
Yeah, 100%.
And knows how to make money out of it.
Man, I know, man.
Salute to him. Like, I hope we have many more beefs. Pause. like, cause
if someone like that is talking about you, they talking about you.
Yeah, right? and he does it in such a way that it's entertaining. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, he gonna say something hilarious. He gonna try to intimidate you. People gonna pay attention to it.
Yeah, so, he's questioning your bars.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
but so has everyone else, I think. Right?
That's never if. Being a rapper was important to me. Like, I've never really tried to be a rapper. Like, that was never that was just something I could do and did on the side. Like, that was not my career of choice.
Crazy.
So it's like, when people say you can't rap, I'm like, so
what, bro? Like, you can't either.
Yeah. Like, if I'm over here dominating in basketball and somebody say, man, you suck at badminton, I'm like, all right.
Cool, dog. Like, all right, I was just trying it.
Yeah. Like, but it was, and that was the thing too. Like, I don't know. Fifth, we've had private conversations like on several occasions where we have respect for one another as men.
You have
but
to,
like
man.
when you crack these mics open, we here to talk shit.
Right, we're here to
like
fill
we
time.
don't talk shit about each other, Cruz. Like
have we?
Have you guys?
I have. I took Cruz's old job.
Oh,
Like I had to be like, we about to do something different.
I left that old job.
Yeah, exactly.
Nick Cannon.
See, he's talking shit. You
Nick
see?
Cannon got the call.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm like. Yo, deport Nick Cannon, man. He's taking jobs. The fuck?
But like we talk about, especially in this city, like whether it's radio wars or whatever, like we have such a pride out here, and when you see people like, oh, I got to do it better than the last person that was here, or like I got to make sure I put on for my culture and all that type of stuff. So and in radio you have fun, you play pranks, you talk shit, you send people over to do certain things.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I know all about that.
I love radio, man. Radio is my life.
And then even in that fashion, I could even imagine too, or somebody who's dedicated their time to a space, and then you see somebody like me who's like, oh, you think you can come in and do more than radio?
And then they pay you more than what they were paying me when I was beating the competition.
Right.
Like crazy. It's like, whoa, like, okay, you
So
start to feel away. You start to feel away,
yeah.
But you're the entertainer. You come in with more experience as far as that. You have more star power because you're on television.
But to the point, it's like based off of, that's why, we've always been cool, because you can't let business and personal, especially when you don't control all of the business. The people, what somebody controls over there who owns a building and all that, like, you can't really get involved in that. And you want to see people shine and do what's best for them and their family. Because when you see somebody putting on for their family, you want to root for that person. You want to see that person win in that setting. So and not to get too inside baseball on it, but like, radio has always been a tricky game because people do treat you like you're disposable. Yeah. And so you want to go and find a home where you feel appreciated.
Yeah. And I didn't feel appreciated. So iHeart made the call.
Shouts out to iHeart.
iHeart did. You feel me?
And it's the biggest of the big. You went and got on the Yankees.
Right. No, the Dodgers.
The
He went and got on the Dodgers.
My bad.
Come on, Nick.
The Dodgers. I was just thinking.
World Series winning Dodgers.
Yeah, you're right.
But it's just it's a thing, and I thought of it as, okay, Nick Cannon's an entity, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm an employee.
Yeah, right. And that was the thing, like I was in that mindset of like, I'm gonna buy this station. I'm gonna do like, I'm thinking at that level.
Yeah.
Trying to get my Stevie Wonder on. But I mean, shouts out to everybody who's in this space and understands the art form of it. Yeah. Because, we all just trying to win and I'll never leave radio. You know what I mean? And even now, like I do the Daily Cannon each and every day, but it's in a different setting. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not like, again, because shouts out to everybody who does it. And, y'all know the struggle. Like, it literally put me in the hospital trying to get up at 3:30 every morning.
Sir. Yes, sir.
And then still live a regular life. Yeah. So now I get up at 4. Okay. But it's still, it's not in that way of like, even when I was doing my talk show, I was like, man, I'm sitting here trying to do, it takes me 16 hours to do 1 hour of content. Wow. Or it takes all day to produce a morning show. I can change that, manage the time, and I can make content all day long or I can make content for 2 hours that lasts a whole week. And nobody knows the difference to where if I'm here,
you don't need to be at a radio station to do that.
Stop sets and live breaks and all of that type of stuff, which is amazing but it's like, I got a lot of other stuff to do. So now I'm gonna build a platform where I can bring all my friends and my partners from radio, let them run with it, and it's still under the guise of Nick Cannon Radio.
Sure.
Cannon.
No, you create your own radio world, I guess, right?
And that's the beauty of what we get to do now because of technology. We can create radio. We can make radio an interactive experience where before it's always been a dictative experience.
I remember hearing your first break when you did mornings in New York. Yeah. Listening online. Yeah. And then just like, sampling the show here and there and just trying to see what's going on. I'm like, is celebrity taking over radio?
Yeah, offer something different than in other spaces. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up, I was interning at Jammin' Z90 in San Diego type of thing. You know what I mean? So I've always had a love for the craft, and that was how I got on. I mean, literally, you know, down the street. I used to be in even when this was the beat. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I used to stand outside the stations with my demo. You know, just drive from San Diego to drive up to LA to
trying to get Theo's attention.
To see if Theo was gonna walk outside.
Julio G.
To see if Big was gonna walk outside. To go to where the Baker Boys was, just to see if they would let me get on stage and let me rap. You know what I mean? Or let me DJ.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, so I'm from it like that.
Yeah, no, you're a fan of radio.
Yeah, so 100%. It's like
I can appreciate that.
And I respect everybody who's still in the craft of radio because it's a real hustle.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a dying breed, man. It's one of the last few intimate art forms that have a connection to the community.
100%. Yeah, and that connection, that communication hasn't faded. I mean, it's direct.
And it's really real because in times like when we see what we're experiencing with like the devastation of the fires, people turn their radios on.
100%.
People wanted to hear what's going on in their community. Yep.
Or even to take a break. Take a break from it all.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but it was like that was the communication, and you see you guys out there on the front lines helping. Yeah. You know what I mean? Twitch ain't out there helping. Yeah. You don't see Instagram TikTok. Out there.
Or too many YouTubers.
You see the radio station. You see the people from your community helping you. And that's why radio never died, because radio is community.
Man, I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
Really quick, who has better chains, athletes or rappers?
Oh, that depends at what level.
The star quarterback got
the star quarterback and Drake. Them chains is gonna be quite similar, and Drake's probably gonna have a better chain.
You think so?
Because Drake got more money. So the biggest rapper and the biggest athlete, I'm gonna say rappers. But if we're just talking about low level, like the athlete's probably gonna have better jewelry.
Yeah.
Because what the athletes don't do, what the rappers do, which, and shouts out to every rapper, to become a rapper, you gotta fake it till you make it. You gotta get the cubic zirconias and the
and hope nobody notices,
right? And all that. Right. Like, and this is how you can always tell if he got a whole bunch of it on and you ain't never heard his song.
You lying, man.
Even if you in the streets, even if you a D-boy, you not moving like that.
No. You don't have a real Cuban link, right?
Yeah. But the ones who getting real money, they don't want that attention. Right? You know what I mean?
Very true.
So the rappers who got on a little too much jewelry at the beginning of their stage, but it's like you watch the evolution. Like, I remember seeing the Migos. Shouts out to my brother Quavo and all of them, like R.I.P. Take always. But I remember seeing their chains. Like, I was the first person to ever put them on TV. They did Wildin' Out, and we did a record together, all that. And their chains were like cute. They were like adorable, like that. Like you could tell, like that. You see their jewelry now,
insane.
Like, they've mastered it. You know what I mean?
No, like, they brought it to a whole nother level.
You see a Quavo chain now.
Crazy.
You see an Offset chain now.
Crazy.
It's a whole nother level. So, but athletes don't do that. One, they got financial advisors, right? When they get their check, they know. And so they don't buy their jewelry until it is high grade, top notch level and all that. So I would say, if we're just talking about, entry level, the athlete's gonna have the better chains. But if you're gonna talk about top of the top, once a rapper really got it, once he faked it for a while, but once he made it, look at them cats who really got it.
Right.
Like I said, the Migos, Lil Baby, Drake, Yachty.
Yeah.
Like them dudes.
It's real deal.
That's it.
Did you ever wear fake jewelry?
Nah, I didn't really have to. Cause I mean, I was getting to.
You were getting money early.
Yeah, by the time we got to it, and I kind of came up in the bling bling era. So like I was, we had all of the Jacob watches.
That's right. That's right.
Jacob did a couple of my engagement rings and stuff. So we was.
That's crazy.
But you see now, like, I don't wear no jewelry, man. Like, they gotta convince me.
Well, it is LA. We gotta move carefully, right?
Yeah. I mean, but we good out here. Yeah. But I mean, like, just in general, I kind of got over that, man. Like, I had diamond shoes. I still have them. I had diamond shoes. Jason in Beverly Hills, we designed the world at the time. I'm pretty sure.
I've seen you wear.
We had
on the Masked
world's
Singer.
most expensive shoes.
Yeah,
$1.2 million each foot. But it's like,
yo, Nick.
It's like at this point, once you've done it at that level, it's like,
there's nothing to prove.
Yeah,
nothing to prove. Yo, are you petty? Like, are you keeping old texts, DMs, emails, just in case?
Come on, man. We elevated.
Yeah.
We on a higher frequency.
I know, but you're still a man.
I don't think I've never been a petty dude either. Like, pettiness is poisonous.
It is. It can be.
How do you do that? How do you just let it roll off?
People always ask me that. Nothing bothers me. One, I don't take life seriously like that. But if it's eating me up, like, especially like even my health condition, it literally affects my health, like stress. So I have to let everything roll off. Mm-hmm. So
it's like never that important.
Yeah, in the moment though, like I can have a confrontation. Something could frustrate me in the moment, but that's that moment. Like I think Deion Sanders said it, and I lived this even before I heard him say it. But it's like you can never have a bad day. You have a bad moment. You have multiple moments in the day, but you can't have a bad day because you woke up this morning.
And we're always choosing, I guess, right?
So I have bad moments all the time. I have frustrating moments, petty moments all the time. But like you gotta let it happen, emote, and then move off of it.
Yeah. Emote.
Yeah. It's been a great therapy session.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right. I feel good.
Yeah.
Battle of the Bands.
I'm about a 7.5.
You know what we got to do?
The crazy thing is this is my therapy time. I would be in therapy right now.
No, really?
We got to plan like a yoga workshop.
Let's do it.
Right?
Yoga?
I'm hip-hop.
Yeah.
I'm
or
all
meditation.
about it.
You meditation workshop.
Meditate. Like, whenever. I mean, they coincide. But
you know Mike
mindfulness. I've met him a few times. I don't know him like that. I know
we had him up here, and we were doing like breathing work and meditation, stuff like that.
He's deep into it.
He's
very
stuff
deep. Online.
Stuff like that is good for your soul, man. I think it'll keep you alive for a very long time.
Hey, let's hope so.
Let's hope so. Battle of the Bands at Sofi, man.
Yeah.
Canned goods, please come donate. Let's help.
Let's get it.
In a major way. The world is suffering.
Yes.
Right? And it's up to us, really.
We have to. We got to be there for one another. We got to be the light. You know what I mean?
100%.
It's more about being the light than more about being the sound.
Man.
You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of noise, but if you can be a light is the only thing that cuts through sound.
That's it. My guy, Nick Cannon, bars, my G. Appreciate the time, dog. Thank you, man.
Love.
Yes, sir. Nick Cannon, Cruz Show, Real 92.3.
Yo, check out more of our YouTube interviews now, ASAP+. Download the free iHeartRadio app so you can check out the Cruz Show podcast.